99X and the Morning X. It is Barnes and Leslie, and we're inching even closer to Valentine's Day, Fram. And some people might still be looking for the ultimate perfect gift.
Barnes, I wanted to bring up a topic that might be polarizing.
No pun intended?
No pun intended, and I don't know how long this has been going on, but it's happening in Atlanta. So I would love some feedback on this. I don't know if you've heard about Mommy and Me pole dancing.
I have.
There's a studio in Atlanta. It's called Mommy and Me Workshop. I guess the concept has a lot of people going, what? This video went viral on Instagram showing children, doing kind of acrobatics around the pole, twisting and turning at Pink Pole's studio. And they're doing this to Take Me There from that Rugrats movie from 98. But I wanted to bring on someone from the studio, from Pink Pole's studio, the owner, to talk to us about it. Tia Harris. Tia, are you there? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here.
Hey, Tia.
Hey, Tia. How are you?
I'm great. How are you all?
Doing good. So I guess you're getting blown up on this because it is all of a sudden everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Set it up for us. Like Leslie was saying, what is this something new?
So pole dancing for adults, of course, isn't new.
Right.
Pole fitness for kids is new, I guess, to a lot of people. However, pole fitness for kids is actually recognized as a sport internationally. Kids in other countries are already doing pole fitness. And here in the United States, we have what we call federations that are fighting to get it to be a part of the Olympics here.
I had not heard that. I mean, we knew about pole dancing because we watch Britney Spears, on Instagram and TikTok all the time. And, for athletic reasons and working out. But I had not heard about it for kids. It's the same reason, right? Is it just for the athletic part of it?
It is. It's absolutely only for fitness and the athletics part of it. If you all look it up, you'll see it. If you hashtag kids pole fitness, go online, kids pole fitness, you're going to see where it's been going on for years. And it actually originated in India, but it wasn't called pole fitness. There was a different name for it. But yeah, it's grown and it's definitely for fitness and athletics. Nothing too much outside of what gymnastics is. It's just a different apparatus. And that's what has people in a frenzy.
Now, why do you think, and not everybody is in a frenzy, because we put it in social media and it was overwhelmingly positive for a lot of the reasons you cited. Why are people so up in it about the fact that it's a Mommy and Me pole class?
So first, we have to change our mindset. So if you're bothered by this, it just tells me that you're unknowledgeable, in a sense. If someone can accurately define the problem with it and why it's much different from gymnastics, then I'm willing to listen. However, we have to stop sexualizing kids. That's first. No one is doing anything inappropriate. Everyone is completely dressed. So I don't understand what the confusion is outside of unawareness. Once we can get past making you aware, you doing the research, then I don't understand why it would still be confrontational.
I think I understand why. It's the stigma, right?
The stigma, yes. Changing our mindsets, yes.
Yeah, and this stigma, some people are going to have a problem with. Now, this is your studio, right?
This is my studio, yes.
What do you do for work besides this studio?
I operate my studio. That's all I do. I've been running my studio for 10 years now, and that's all I do, operate my studio.
Are there any strippers that are involved in this?
There are 0 strippers involved. Actually, a known fact is 2 of my main instructors just received their white coats 2 days ago, and they're doctors of physical therapy.
But see, that's the problem, is people think that this is a bunch of strippers getting with kids.
Yes.
Right. Well, I did look up the hashtag, Tia. We're talking to Tia Harris, who's the owner of Pink Pole's studio for the Mommy and Me workshop. And if you do hashtag kids pole fitness, a lot of people saying, learning to climb on a pole requires coordination, core strength, strong legs and hands. And it looks like it's a big thing in the UK. So this is a real thing. Mm-hmm. And it is people saying it should be part of the Olympics.
Absolutely.
That's pretty funny, though.
Exactly.
It's the mental image that we're all going to get when we hear the pole. is because
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
people use it for sex activities in their house, or you go to a strip club. I'd be curious to get people's opinion.
Yeah.
And, we're in the South, right? So, bring it. You have something to say? Bring it. 470-741-4999. You can talk to Tia directly about this whole mommy and me thing. And maybe you'll want to buy tickets at the end of it. Let's get some of these people, because they are definitely calling in, as they were definitely commenting in social. Hey, morning, X. Good morning. How are you? Who is this?
It's Amanda.
Hey, Amanda. What do you think about this whole thing? You're on with me and Leslie and Tia. We're talking about the mommy and me pole class.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. If you've seen any of these kids that do these pole acrobatics and pole arts, it's impressive. I could totally support it. And I love it that these kids can do it with their parents, their moms. And these kids look up to their moms. They see how strong that they are and how beautiful that they are. I think it's a great idea.
Amanda, do you have kids?
I do. I have 2 teenagers.
So you would condone this for your child?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it takes a lot of strength. I could probably barely do it. If I could do it with my kid, and you could do it together and learn together and grow together, and it's something different. It's something unique. And I think, especially here in Georgia, it's pole fitness. It's literally you're getting a full core body workout. It is for fitness. And I think that the stigma behind pole dancing, it's there. It's going to be there, especially for older generations and people that don't really look into it or understand it.
Right.
I think that's how they look at it. But if you look at it on an international level, and you look how especially a lot of the places here in Georgia are trying to get rid of that stigma and turn it around to a fitness level.
I don't know about that. Last I checked, Atlanta was still the strip capital of the world. That is part of the problem, though. That is part of what the people are seeing, out there.
But Amanda makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it, Amanda.
Thank you so much, Amanda.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Thanks. Have a great day. All right, let's go. Who else is waiting here? Morning, X. Good morning. Who is this?
Hey, this is Derek.
Hey, Derek. You're on with me and Leslie and Tia from the Pink Poles Studios.
Yeah, what do you think?
Here's my thing. So, there's lots of different exercises children can do. So I have 4 kids. They were involved in martial arts, dance, you have cheerleading, gymnastics. Now, I was researching and looking it up a little bit. And yeah, you do have arguments that could be made that say, this is for, this doesn't have to be any removal of clothes, and this could be non-sexual. And I understand all of that, and that's cool. But I think there is a slippery slope argument to be made that it could lead to something worse down the road. Maybe not for the individual child, because I saw some pretty young age kids. Some of those kids look like they're 6 years old. I have a 6, soon to be 7-year-old in March. I wouldn't be doing that. I don't have necessarily an issue with there's classes for adults, and I don't necessarily have an issue with adults having classes like that, or maybe upper teens, somebody that's more mature. I'm just not crazy about the idea of small children being involved in something that does sexual dancing and anything like that. And I'm no prude by any means. It's not that.
Okay. Hi. And thank you for your opinion, and thank you for, being open. Your opinion is your opinion. So I would want to touch on the fact that you said you wouldn't want, someone at such a young age being involved with something. Did you say sexual dancing?
Yeah, well, you're probably going to make the argument that you don't do sexual dancing.
Yeah, right. So I'll start there. Yeah, so this was completely fitness. If you saw the video, you saw no one doing anything sexual. You saw the kids dressed like a gymnast would be dressed. You saw kids doing what a cheerleader would do, because those were things you referenced. So outside of the stigma, there's really nothing valid that would make you say no outside of the stigma and your personal opinion, right?
Then why the need for a pole and swinging around on a pole? That's really my situation. Why? I mean,
okay. No, I welcome your opinion and I appreciate it. So you said, why swinging around a pole?
Yeah, why?
So no one was swinging around a pole. Moving around a pole takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot out of people. We're not just literally there swinging. You see them doing professional moves around the pole. They're climbing up the pole. They're inverting on the pole, meaning going upside down. So if they were just there swinging, lollygagging, laughing, I would be like, no. But what they're doing around the pole, up the pole, down the pole, is taking a lot of strength, just like what a gymnast would do or a cheerleader would do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm not really beating. Yes.
Thank you for calling, Derek. We're going to move on. I think your point has been made. I want to get some other people in, but thank you, okay, for joining us.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
You got to have a great day. We'll see you later.
Thanks so much.
Hey, Morning X, who is this?
Martin,
Hey, Martin, what do you think about the Mommy and Me workshop?
we should just let people do what they want to do because there's so little joy on this planet that they got to get it wherever they can.
Agreed. And don't you think, just hypothetically, if these young people getting this down and they don't make it to the Olympics and maybe the job economy is tough, what if they wanted to go into something where they could use that pole experience? I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Who cares?
Any lucrative.
You could also go to the circus.
You could go to the circus too. But my point is, people are going to do what they want to do. People are going to think what they want to think.
So you got a young child. Would you rather them sit there, on their iPad all day playing video games or getting exercise on a pole?
There we go.
Yeah, and the point that Tia makes is very valid. There is nothing sexual going on in these sessions. Like that, so I think that stigma that is just not going to leave some people's head, you need to get past that.
Absolutely.
It's not a sex party. It's not like you're bringing kids to a sex party, or else it would have been shut down already. Yeah, Carrie, thank you for calling. Tia, thank you for joining us. That was great.
Awesome. It was great, and I'm thankful for you all, your opinions, the opinions of your listeners. It was great. And again, we welcome it. We welcome questions, and we're not going anywhere. So anyone that's looking to join us, come see us.
I could never do it. I would suck at that so badly.
I'm a little uncoordinated, but if you're interested, check out Pink Pole's studio and say hi to Tia.
Yeah, it's pinkpolesstudios.com. But if you just, if you just search the Mommy and Me Pole Workshop, you'll get right to it. Tia, thank you.
Thank you all for having me. You all have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Tia.
Isn't it funny? You hear a phone ring and it could be anybody. But a ringing phone has to be answered, doesn't it?
Hey, I'm calling about because I heard the Mommy and Me at the pole class.
Yeah, the Tia from the Mommy and Me pole class. Right. What about it?
Yes. Well, I own a pole installation company here in Atlanta, Atlanta Custom Poles.
Atlanta Custom Poles.
Oh, I'm looking you up right now. Atlanta.
Yeah, believe it or not. And we've done 500 plus poles in the past, 6 years since we've been open. And 95% of our customers do it for fitness.
Uh-huh.
It's a great exercise, great core workout. You'd be surprised how much of a workout it really is until you actually try and get yourself up on a pole and hold yourself up there for, 30 seconds or so. But yeah, it's got this stigma that every time you got a pole, it's going to be a stripper or adult related. Nudity is involved. It's actually completely opposite. Literally 95% of my clients do it for fitness. I've done two clubs.
It's a great workout. I can imagine
6 years.
Wait, hold on. What's your name?
My name's Nick.
Mick at Atlanta Custom Poles. Let's talk about the 5% then. If 95% of your people are doing it for fitness, I mean, couldn't you go somewhere else to do it? You have to install instead of installing one in your home. That's my first question. But the people in the 5%, do you know straight up that they're not doing it for fitness?
Well, there's always an element of fitness to it, some exercise to it. But, two adult clubs in Atlanta versus over 20 fitness studios, pole fitness studios. It surprised me when I started the business that it was the opposite of what I was expecting. But yeah, I mean, the reality of it is a lot of it. Most people do it for fitness versus any kind of sexual stripping, that whole side of things.
So Barnes, if you wanted to install one in your home, did you know that you could get polished stainless steel, brushed stainless steel, titanium? There's all sorts of finishes. Which one would you like?
Okay, hold on. I have so many questions.
Okay, questions.
So what made you want to start a pole business? You mentioned when you started, you didn't know what you would find. When were you just sitting around and you thought, you know what, I'm going to open a business where I put poles up?
That's a good question. It is.
So I get that a lot. Basically, long story short, my girlfriend at the time did pole fitness, and I wanted to put a pole up at my house. My day job at the time was going kind of crappy. We were taking pay cuts and whatnot. So I started looking at options to purchase a pole, and really wasn't really impressed with the products on the market. And at the time, during my research, I was really surprised that Atlanta, out of all cities, didn't have a dedicated pole company. So I spent the next several months kind of researching it, just kind of playing with the idea in my head. And after a while, I realized, you know what, this actually could take off. You got the invention of the hula hoop, the pet rock, stuff like that, and they've been successful with their ideas. I'm like, shoot, if they can do it, a legit idea could take off in Atlanta.
Good for you, by the way. What an entrepreneur, realizing there wasn't anything like this. I do have to ask about the cost, though. What does it cost to get the pole and have it installed in your home?
Leslie, you thinking about?
Right. I think a lot of people might want to know, Barnes.
Well, Leslie does. Well, I just want to interject. Leslie does jump on some funny little trampoline in her living room.
It's called a rebounder.
Right. So maybe the pole will go nice right next to it.
Poles and trampolines go great together.
What does it cost to get a pole?
It really depends. Each one is custom made, but you're generally looking at about $1,000 for a custom made pole installed in your house with a warranty.
Yeah, and then you can exercise at home, Barnes.
See, if it was me, I'd put one out in the yard and have it double as a flagpole. Because then football season, look, I'm giving you business ideas here. You're Shark Tanking. You could have it in the summer.
I love it.
You have it for your pole class. And then in the fall, you have your football team's flag up. In the winter, North Pole. You have all kind of pole options. But the people do you know when they say, hey, I want this pole, and then you show up to install it at their house, and it's in their bedroom.
He's not asking them.
Well, no, they're installing the pole.
Right.
Don't you know by the location you're installing it what they're going to do with it?
Not always, not necessarily. Now, there's sometimes, for example, you might be installing one in a bedroom, something like that, and you kind of have an idea because the husband's there and they're kind of doing it together, and you kind of know what their intentions are. It's more of like a private thing. But other times, the client might have a whole room dedicated to fitness, a gym, some workout machines.
Yeah.
They'll have a whole basement dedicated to, just like a home workout, home gym, and that's just what it's all about. 95%, at least 95% does it for fitness.
We had a former employee here that his name's Crash, and I could see him being into that for that purpose. But you have to think. I'm just wondering the psyche of the person who full on $1,000. You're putting a pole, in this case, a stripper pole in your bedroom. Hold on, and then all for your enjoyment, but. Doesn't that get old after a while?
Well, I was getting ready to say, it's probably cheaper than a Peloton that might just sit there in the corner.
Well, I tell you what, a pole is cheaper than a marriage counselor.
Wow.
Well,
there you go.
See, now you're selling me with only the 5% that you do. All right, this is a fascinating situation. I cannot believe that there is a company, and kudos to you,
yes.
Atlanta Custom Poles.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
Good for you.
And I'm looking at your website. And you've got what looks like a bar in one of the pictures, but then you have like a fitness looking, with the hula hoops in the air, and it looks like kind of circus-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's called Lyra, or part of like the aerial arts thing. It kind of goes hand in hand with pole studios. They'll basically make like an apparatus that hangs from the ceiling, so they can do fitness stuff on the hoop as well. But it's not just hoops and poles like for installation. We do like rentals. We do a lot of music videos. We've supplied poles to various TV shows, movies. It's a whole it's a wide range of poles, installations, rentals.
Hey, but hold on, Leslie. Look at
Poles
these
are us.
poles. Look at these poles that go from the ceiling. Now we're talking. Look at these little.
Yeah, I'm in the gallery right now.
What's the poles that you install them in the ceiling? It almost looks like a pull-up.
It looks like
pole.
Cirque du Soleil happening over there.
Now you're talking. Okay, we should stop here. All right. So Nick, AtlantaCustomPoles.com. There's thanks for calling in. You got a nice free you got a little infomercial there.
He did.
I really appreciate it, guys. And if you'd like to see more of my work, please check us out on Instagram, where we update that more so than our website.
That's funny stuff. Who knew there was this whole underground thing?
Unbelievable.
I love Morning X listeners doing things. Thanks, dude. We'll see you later.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Barnes.
Have you heard about the stripper pole classes? Have you felt bad about the stripper pole classes? No, I gotta go to college, I gotta make half the money, I gotta pay half the bills, and now I have to dance like a stripper? Why did I go to school? I could have done it before. Now I gotta get a pole and put it in the middle of my bedroom. Where do you get a pole? I gotta go to Home Depot, pick up Paco, the shelf guy out front, and be like, hey, can you sign a non-disclosure agreement? He's in the house putting in the pole, looking at me. You dance on this? I'm like, pay attention to your job. And then the relationship breaks up. I got a pole in the middle of my bedroom. It's not like a treadmill. I just can't put stuff over the pole. You know what I mean? You just look like a big whore. What are you going to do then?
Good Morning X.
With Barnes and Leslie. 99.